Hey friends, tell me if this is you. Is it easy to grab onto that next best thing? Maybe the weighted vest, the rebounder, the lymphatic drainage routines you found on Instagram, keto, obsessive calorie tracking, training for a 5K. Now, none of these are really bad, but they often don't solve the problem that people are looking to solve, but they get distracted by them. So today I want to be diving into this and breaking down, are you thinking about doing something that's actually going to distract you from reaching that goal that you want to reach? Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michelle, mama 4 and military wife, and I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, so let's dive into this today. Are you focused on something that is not actually helpful to you? I find this so often as I'm talking to clients, as I'm talking to people interested in becoming clients, and even just friends. So often we hear or we see something that sounds sort of flashy and for some reason really grabs our attention. We think that it will give us a way to control. We think that it's going to fix this problem that we feel we have. That if we just buy this something or we follow this plan, this is going to do it. It makes us feel like we're taking action and we're doing something. But a lot of times these distract us from what we actually need to do, right? Maybe that person doesn't need to do keto or extreme calorie tracking and counting. Maybe they just need to eat a little less for dinner. Maybe they just need to start with a healthier breakfast, right? Those sound really boring when you compare it to I'm doing keto. Instead, you're I'm just eating a healthy breakfast. So there's something in us sometimes that is drawn to those, but it's really taking us away from the habits that we need to do. And sometimes it's also the mindset. Again, that one doesn't sound that exciting either. You don't say to your friends, oh, I'm working on my mindset. You're saying, I'm doing the weighted vest, and you take a picture of yourself because that's the flashy new thing right now. It seems exciting. Right? Working on our mindset, or why after a long day at work or a long day with our kids, we're grabbing a bag of Oreos. That doesn't sound exciting to work on. But if that was that person, that is what they need to work on. Or maybe someone needs to focus more on the consistency because they go off the rails on the weekend. So maybe they can do calorie tracking and they sort of do it during the week and then they let it go on the weekends because they know they're not eating how they should be. Instead of working on why that's happening on the weekends, they try to do this calorie tracking and have that sense of control. Or maybe on Instagram, they saw this lymphatic routine and they think that's somehow going to help when really what they want to do is lose weight and get healthy. And they are in a phase of overeating, not eating healthy foods, eating lots of sweets, not really exercising and not moving much. So we have to really be able to step back and take this big picture. And a lot of times we can't see it for ourselves. So especially with news and social media, we get taken away by this new and flashy thing. And our brain likes excitement. It likes new things and it gets stuck on that, right? Instead of doing those boring things that are actually going to help us. So we really have to step back and think of this big picture. What do I actually need? How are my routines looking? How are my boundaries looking? How aware am I of my fullness and my hunger cues? How am I moving? What does my consistency look like with eating healthy or exercise? What does my stress level look like? What does my sleep look like? What does that self-talk look like that I have going on in my head? What tools am I using? What was it like for me growing up and maybe through college and my early marriage years? What did my health look like there? What habits do I have that feel pretty ingrained in me that I'm just living out of? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you guys some self-reflection questions, and I will also put these in the description so that you can look at them. Maybe you can really pause and journal with some of them. Use the questions that stick out most to you. I also love to I try to put lots of stuff in the descriptions each week so you guys can find different links to things I like, how to connect with me, how to see my website, or anything I mention in the episode. So make sure you guys check that out. All right, so the first question could be, what do I want my life and health to look like 1 year from now? Right, so if we're thinking about getting that weighted vest, I want you to think, like, what do I want for my life and health 1 year from now? Because we want to backtrack it. We want to do those things that will get us there in 1 year from now. Next question, does what I'm doing right now actually support this? So not the thing you want to add or you want to change. So what are you doing right now, and does it support it? Is that going to help you reach that goal of how you want your health and life to look like 1 year from now? And if the answer is no, let's just step back 1 week. Think about last week. What got in your way last week? And be specific. We want to think, like, what are actually the problems here that I'm having reaching this goal? Then I want you to think, where do I tend to go off the rails? Is it the weekend? Is it stress? Is it social events? Is it boredom? Right? Because when we can step back and we can look at what we've been doing and we can see what our problems are, does the solution, like the weighted vest I mentioned, is that going to solve those problems, right? If someone's problems last week were that they didn't have a healthy breakfast, that when they got upset, they started to notice that they would overeat, that they're just feeling really tired, that they only worked out 2 of the days, the weighted vest may not be the magic fix that this person is looking for. Now, could they do it? Of course. Would it have benefits to their body? Of course. But it's not really going to help them get to that goal of where they want to be 1 year from now of their life and health, if that is to feel better and lose weight and to be healthy and to move, if they have all these other habits. I want you to ask yourself, am I looking for a shortcut instead of a habit, instead of something that I can stick with? Right? We're in the shortcut culture. I am definitely one who does not have a ton of patience, or it's something I'm always working on. I am way more patient than what I used to be, right? Like, I want to pick the shortest line. I don't like waiting in line. Like, all these things, we want the shortest, quickest thing. And when it comes to our health, that usually doesn't work out. Then I want you to ask this question. What feels uncomfortable when it comes to your health and taking care of yourself do you keep avoiding? For a lot of people, they avoid doing that deeper mindset, emotional work, right? Please let it be anything but working on this emotional eating that I have when I get angry, right? Anything else can fix it except working on that. We don't say those thoughts out loud, but I think sometimes that's like that internal dialogue. Please let it be anything else but, because I don't want to work with these anxious feelings I have. So what feels uncomfortable that you keep avoiding? And here's the last question I'm going to give you guys. If I stop chasing new plans, the latest thing, what's the one boring thing I knew that would help me? So I want you guys to spend some time on this. So if as you're listening to this, you just brush the surface, really take some time to just journal and really think about these questions. So a lot of times our progress might look boring. It might be doing the basics. But it's going to be less of that all or nothing. It's going to be more of that sustainability when you find something that you can stick with. So for a lot of us, we don't need a drastic change. We don't need the latest flashy product that we see. A lot of times what we need is clarity on what actually matters for you. And this is different for everyone, right? Someone might need to work on their emotional eating. Someone else might need to figure out how they can move more first, right? So there's the different things you need and also the different things that you are ready to do. So I want you to think about that one small thing that you can focus on next week. And if you have listened to this episode and you were thinking about doing the latest, flashiest thing, whatever that might be, I would love to hear from you. So I'll put a link, but send me an email or you can message me on Facebook. I would love to hear that thing that you were debating about doing, but after listening to this, you realize that's probably not the thing that you need to be doing. All right, I think that would be fun to hear. All right, and if you need help figuring out what your real focus should be, what's going to help you specifically reach that 1-year goal you have for your health and your life, I offer free calls so we can sort of get to know each other and see if we're a fit that we would work together, where we can really put a realistic plan together that fits your life in the season you're in right now. This free call is no pressure. We just get to chat and see if we are a fit. And I also offer 10% off for military, for teachers, and for police and firefighters. So there will be a link in the description where you guys can set up a free call. All right, friends, I hope you keep moving and hope you have a great week.